Welcome back to another episode of Agents of the Four Seasons. So in the previous episode, we saw a different perspective and basically the entire story of the entire backstory, I guess, of Hinagiku's kidnapping, right? So we saw how it went down. It was an extremely rough one, man. It was very harsh. It was very bloody, emotional, and we mostly saw it from Rosei's perspective in the previous episode, which was really interesting to see. So now I feel like we got the entire story of how it all happened. I still feel like there are things that we don't know about, you know, with Hinagiku's escape and stuff, and like especially what their motive is, right? What the insurgents' motive is and stuff. So we still don't fully know it, but I'm sure we'll see. I am sure we'll see it as we watch more of it. And also, Nadeshiko is still kidnapped, right? Obviously, so we haven't really done anything with that. So we'll see if they're gonna pull any or make any moves here in this episode regarding that. So let's find out. So if you wanna watch this, Uncut and Blood as well as on my page in the description. And let's go into Agents of the Four Seasons, episode 9. Oh my goodness, we're continuing on from here? God. Ooh. Okay, so this is fully like in the present. Man, I really can't wait for them to meet. Hopefully it's gonna be a good meeting between them. I feel like we're building up towards it more and more. I feel like that's gonna be a sort of climax. Maybe it's gonna be the end of the season climax. Oh. Hokkaido, I'm guessing. Or it could not be. Oh, thinking about her brings her back to those days, right, when she was there as well. Brings back the feelings. I mean, that kind of makes sense, what they're saying. Try to finish this. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's rough. I mean, it's impossible to not get attached. 'It is crazy that none of the insurgents, I don't know, I'm guessing they've captured and interrogated some of the insurgents that attacked them at some point. But none of them spilled the beans of like where the base is or anything along those lines. Let's see, what did he want to say? What's up? What's up, Rosei? What did you think of? Of course he would blame himself, it's so tough. It's Sakura. Man, this one event... This one event has affected so many people here. So deeply. I do like how they're showing how much a tragic event like this can not only affect the person who's obviously experiencing the tragic event, but also the people around them, right? It can also affect everyone who cares for that person, right? And people who care for the people who care for that person and stuff like that. It can cause kind of like a chain of people who get heavily affected by this kind of event, right? If it is, you know, as horrible of an event as this one. So I do like how they're showing their entire thing spread, right? Mm-hmm.
試験で心を痛めているのは聞いている。俺もかわいそうだとは思ったが、正直何かしようとは思えなかった。10年前、ひなぎくがかどわかされた時、仙台の夏と秋は何もしなかったからな。お前たちもおとなしくしていろと言われているのだろう。俺たちは所詮駒だ。管理されるべき駒には勝手な行動は許されない。不幸だったと終わらせるしかない。それが一番楽だ。だが、俺はあの時、助けて欲しかったんだ。世界中に、助けて欲しかった。俺のせいでさらわれた。俺の好きな女の子を返してくれと。心の底から願った。きっと、秋は今そうなってる。見捨てることは、過去の自分たちを見捨てるに等しい。この命は、ひなぎくに。
Also, one thing that I do like a lot, and it feels like they're setting this up here, is it feels like they are gonna be using, or not using, that seems wrong, but they're gonna be, through this event here, through this kidnapping of Autumn, through the kidnapping of Nadeshko, I feel like they're gonna be, because of this event, they're gonna be finding a way to move past their past trauma as well, right? And everything that happened in the past, through this event, and through maybe their actions differing from the ones in the past, they're gonna be able to move on from that entire thing. That's kind of like what it feels like here, which is really cool.
ひなぎくに恥じない生き方をしたい。だから我ら冬は、いや、俺と伊手町は秋の捜索に助力すると決めた。俺たちが動くから、お前たちは安心して安全なところにいてほしい。それを伝えておきたかった。ローセ、ああ、お前はいつも段取りが悪い。おまけにひねくれていて暗い。常に葬式にいるような顔をしているし、とてもじゃないが我が主を恋したう許しは与えたくない。おい、そこまで言うか。この私が、ひなぎく様の護衛官であるこの私が、ひなぎく様を傷つける者を放っておくと思った。
Of course not.
すでに我々春は動く算段ができている。
Yep, of course.
早く権限終わらせたい。あの連中の言うことに耳を傾ける必要はありません。あいつらはひなぎく様の身を案じているのではなく、自分たちの仕事を滞らせたくないだけ。違うの。ひなぎく、秋の大公者様が今どんなに怖がってるかすごくわかるの。同じ経験したから。早く権限を終わらせるの。なでしこ様、助けに行きたい。怖い。嫌だ。私はずっと探していた。探して、探して、探して、探して、あなたは帰ってきた。あなたは、私の知る前のあなたではないとおっしゃる。それでも帰ってきてくれた。それからも様々なことがあったけれど、ようやくここまで来たんだ。助けに行って危ない目にあったら、また10年前のようなことが起きたら、お願いだから、もうどこにも行かないでほしい。でも、あなたは優しいから、自分より人が傷つくことに心を痛めてしまう。誰かを守るためなら、自分を犠牲にしてしまう。だから、ひなぎく様、一つご提案が。もちろん OK!
Of course.
手伝うよ。
Of course she would be in.
そうと決まったらすぐに動かないとね。ありがとうございます、瑠璃様、あやめ様。ですが、本当にご協力いただいても良いのですか？
I really like her energy.
ちょうど私たちの
Summer.
方でも力になれないかと考えていたんです。瑠璃の生命刺激なら創作のお役に立てるのではないかと思いまして。私 私たちと同じ代行者がわけわかんない理不尽な目に遭ってるのに何もしないでいるなんて嫌だもん。ありがとうございます。捜査本部は10年前と同様指揮長に置かれるはず。合流するまで少し時間をください。
ナイス。
全力で絵西に春届けて亭主に戻ります。
Nice, she did it.
無理しないでね。というわけだ。我々春は夏と共に秋を救う。葉桜姉妹と何かの取引が。お前らついこの間が初対面なんじゃ。
Yeah, well, they just
何を言っ
clicked.
ているんだ。ひとえにひなぎく様の
Charisma.
そうだな。
Is that it?
言うなれば友達協定だ。友達？理解できまい。お前友達いないもんな。
Not wrong.
改めて言うが、ローセ、私はお前たち、冬が嫌いだ。ひなぎく様がいなくなったのは冬のせいだ。だが、
I can see why she has this.
春の里を追われ、路頭に迷った私を
I can see why she has this big of a I guess hate for winter, right? Because initially I thought that she only hated them because of like the search and stuff, because they couldn't like keep searching after 5 years or whatever, and I thought that that's why she hated them. But we saw in the previous episode that that's not the case. The reason is because, I mean, Rosei is not at fault for everything that happened, but he was the main target. If he wasn't there, none of it would have happened. Obviously, as I said, not his fault, but I can see why she would feel this kind of way towards winter, right? The entirety of the winter village and stuff.
してくれたこと、戦い方を教えてくれたこと、感謝している。大規模捜査が打ち切られたことは未だに許せない。しかし、お前たちだけはひなぎく様の捜索を続けていたと聞いた。挽回の機会をくれてやる。捜索は人海戦術。助けはいくらあっても足りない。なので、あえて私から言おう。冬の大公者、寒椿老生様。我々は十分に耐え忍びました。今こそ戦う時、共にこの戦に挑みましょう。春夏秋冬の共同戦線を組み、かどわかされた秋を救うのです。
Let's go. Let's go.
亭主、戻ってきたね。確認しておりませんが、絵西権限機関の最速記録樹立は間違いないでしょう。
A speed record.
それで、老生様はなんて？協定の申し出感謝する。冬は全力で春の要請に応える。と。伊手町お兄様は？何も。こたびの目的は共同戦線締結。言葉を交わしたのは冬の大公者のみです。そっか。残念だったね。ひなぎくんも老生様とお話ししたかったな。まだ好きなのか、ひなぎく様のことが。
Of course.
誘拐されてひなぎく様は変わられた。お前の知っているひなぎく様はもはやこの世界に存在しない。それでも好きと言えるのか？言える。あってもないくせに。記憶はあるが、心が違うと、そう聞いた。それでも、戻ってきたと分かった時は、地に足がつかなかった。夏離宮で襲撃にあったと聞けば、生きた心地がしなかった。
Mm.
各地から10年ぶりの春の知らせが届けば、胸が躍った。
What a guy, Rosei. What a guy.
そう思った。この気持ちは嘘じゃない。
Itecho. I love Itecho as well.
さくら、ありがとう。ありがとう。ひなぎくのことを守ってくれて。
Rosei is so cool.
お そうだ。今、井手町に変わる。余計なことをするな。
And she just hung up.
ひなぎく様、私は弱いんです。小さな頃からそう。強がっていますが、何もかもが怖いです。生きるのが嫌です。ひなぎく様、よろしいですか？でも、ぶしつけな眼差しや言葉を投げかける者もいるかもしれません。お覚悟を。あなたといると強くなれる。本当はただの泣き虫で、わがままなだけの私が。大丈夫。
It is really interesting how they're showing codependence and stuff in this anime.
そうでしょ。あなたのためならいくらだって、私は世界に戦いを挑める。私たちは弱く、傷つけられてばかり。でも、二人なら。はい。あなたを守ります。あなたを守っていつか死ぬ。それがさくらの幸せです。ダメだよ。二人で生きるの。ひなぎくんをさくら守るから。二人で生きるの。生きよ、さくら。はい、ひなぎく様。春を咲かせよう。すべての人に春を。明日が来なければいいと願う人の上にも、明日が来ることを祈っている人のもとにも、桜の花を舞い散らせよう。
In cherry blossoms.
善人にも季節だけは平等だ。
Wow.
素晴らしい季節をあげる。それが世界への復讐だ。
Wow.
傍観していた奴らに、虐げてきた奴らに、私たちを傷つけるすべての者たちへ継ぐ。生きてやる。
Let's go!
これ
Let's go! Finally!
ある者だけが進める戦場。流した涙で急ぎは済んだ。私は姫高さくら。身分は春の護衛官。そしてこちらにいらっしゃるのがかようひなぎく様。この国の春の大公者であらせられる。かようひなぎくと申します。
Let's go!
いざやいざや。春夏秋冬の共同戦線の始まりである。
Yes! Yes! A united front! Oh, that's gonna be so good. Okay, I'm excited for that. Okay. That was a really interesting episode. So, it seems like obviously winter, summer, and spring are gonna be united, of course, with all of their villages. And I'm guessing, well, yeah, also the autumn village in searching for the Agent of Autumn, which is gonna be cool. As I said, it does feel like they are kind of gonna be, during this search, also getting over everything that happened with them, which I think is going to be a cool opportunity for them, right? To work out the things, the past trauma that they still have, that they still carry with them. So that's going to be interesting to see, right? Also, one thing that I said earlier that I really like with this is I like how they're handling the entire codependence thing. I like that, you know, Sakura acknowledges the fact that she isn't perfect. She is, you know, using a lot of excuses to cope with a lot of things that happened, right? And she said that she is weak, right? She can't, you know, necessarily put or like take in all the blame and stuff like that. She can't forgive people who she knows probably aren't, you know, they don't deserve the blame, like let's say Rosei and Itacho, but she still can bring herself to not blame them, to forgive them, because I mean that's really hard to do, right? And she's using that kind of blame towards them as a crutch to cope with the situation, right? Which we've had an episode like a few episodes ago that went a bit more into this entire thing, and I really like that, right? I find it really interesting that, you know, the characters aren't perfect and that she does recognize that, but it's just a way that, you know, sometimes you do need something to cope with a situation like this, right? So that's interesting, really, really cool. But I'm excited to see this next arc here. That's gonna be a united front, as they said, of all the agents in saving Nadeshiko and hopefully, you know, kicking the ass of all the insurgents, right? But yeah, we'll see. We will see. For now, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.